Hello friends, welcome again to my channel, and today we will be discussing about Git commands, uh, Git branching strategies, and a general overview of how to getting started using Git. So in order to getting started using Git, first of all let me create a new GitHub repository. For people who don't know what is a repository, it is basically a place where you maintain your code for your project. So, and what is GitHub? GitHub is a website which provides you some storage to maintain your repositories. So if you see this GitHub slash Sumit 007 is my GitHub space, and you can see that I have 28 repositories already present here. So there are some training material, some personal POCs which I have done, some apps that I have built, and these kind of repositories that I have created here. Okay, so in order to demonstrate how to use Git and what is the best way to use Git, I'll create a fresh repository today. So I'm clicking on this plus button. I'll click new repository and I'll name it Git. Oh no, don't know what happened. Okay, I'll have to add a name to this repository. So I'll give it Git Learning Repository. Make sure the spellings are correct. You can add a readme file, git ignore file. Readme file is, a file which gives a description to your repository. A git ignore file is a file in which you specify the paths of the files that you don't want Git to track. Okay, so if you want to ignore any set of files, you can add those files in git ignore. So I'll just proceed and try to create a repository. I'll have to choose a license, basically none, and then it is enabled the button to create repository. So I'll just click on create repository. So what it will do is it will create a repository for me. So it is under my space Sumitpal Singh 007. It has created a Git learning repository. So it has initialized a README file. I can add some text into it. Okay, so now I'll like people to know that Git is a distributed version control system, and every branch in Git has a local copy and it has a server copy. So you can see that I have created this branch on GitHub. So this is a server copy. So this is a server copy of my repository, and in each repository there can be n number of branches. So by default Git creates a master branch. So currently if I try to check, it is showing me one branch and it is a master branch. Okay, so I am at the master. This is the master branch of my repository, and this repository is created at GitHub. Now what I'll do, I'll try to clone this repository into my local computer so that I can do some changes, add some files into it. So what I'll do is I will this is the clone URL which Git provides. So I'll just copy this URL and then I'll open command prompt. So I'll go to the location where I want to clone this repository, and I'll type git clone and the URL of this repository. So what it will do is, so you can see it has started to clone from the server onto my local. So it will take a couple of minutes maybe. Basically it is empty repository, not many files except the readme and git ignore. So should be pretty quick, depends upon the internet speed, but let's see. So it is cloning the repository into my local D drive. So it has completed now, and if we check where it has created this, if we go to D drive, we can see that it has automatically created the name, a folder with the name of the repository. So Git learning repository, it has automatically created this file, this folder, which is a replica of the server repository which we have created. So I'll just go to this folder. I'm doing Git learning repository, and I will do git branch. So it is telling me that currently it is at the master branch of this repository, which is evident because we cloned from the master branch of our repository here. So suppose that now I have a sprint cycle of 2 weeks running in my project. So every two weeks I do a release, and then my code gets deployed into production, and then every 2 weeks I do separate releases, which means is that currently this master code is deployed on my production, and I'll work for 2 weeks, and I'll keep aggregating all the changes, and at the end of 2 weeks when my sprint is over, I will allow that code to go to production again. So for that purpose, for that branching strategy, this is called branching strategy. How do you maintain your branches? How do you do your how do you maintain your commits? How do you manage your code commits? And this is especially helpful there when there are more than one developers working in your project. So what I'll do, if for example I have sprint one for my project, so I will cut a new branch from this master branch. What I'll do is git checkout minus b is for used for creating a new branch, and I will create this branch in the release folder, and I will say it sprint 001. So I am cutting it, and since currently I am at the master branch, it will cut the branch from the master branch, which means it will take all the changes already present in the master branch, and it will create a new branch with those changes. So since I ran this, now if I do git branch, I'll see that now you can see the green color. I am at my sprint branch. Now what I'll do is I'll add some files here, which for example are my code changes. Okay, so I've added a file 1. I've added another file which is file 2. One is a doc file and one is a word file. Never mind. So now suppose that after 2 weeks of work, I have created these two files which I need to send out as a release. So what I'll do is in my branch, I will do git status. You can see in the red color these two files are there, but why it is showing red color? Because these are untracked files. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll add these files. For adding, I do git add dot if you want to add all the untracked files, and if you only want to add a specific file, you can use git add and then the file name. Since I'm doing dot, it will add all the files. Now if I again do git status, I'll see the files in green color, means now these files are being tracked by git. So now what I'll do, I'll commit these files. I will do git commit. -m is for message, if you want to give a message to your changes, and then you will enter a message, say my first code change. Now these files have been added in this commit. If you again do git status, it will show no more files. Now what you have to do is you have to push this. What we have done is we have created a sprint branch on our local. So that branch has not yet been created in the server GitHub repository which we created. As you can see, it is only showing one branch as of now, which is the master branch, because the branch that we created on our local has not yet been pushed on server. So now what I'll do is I'll push this local branch to our server GitHub repository. So what I'll use is git push origin, and I'll give it the branch name. And in our case, the branch name is relays. Sorry for the spelling mistake, it should have been release, but it is relays. And then it is sprint 001. Okay, so when I'm pushing it, this our expectation is that this branch will automatically get created at the GitHub or repository. You can see that it showed us 100% complete, pushing objects, these kind of things. And if we now refresh, we should see two branches. One was the master branch and another one is the release branch, which we recently pushed to our GitHub repository. So you can see it is showing you updated 1 minute ago. So in this way, you are pushing your code to the release branch. Okay, so in release one, suppose I was the only developer, so I kept on adding my code and then pushing it to the GitHub repository. At the end of 2 weeks, now I need to merge my code into the master branch. So what I'll do is I'll create a pull request from my release branch to master branch. So when you push the code, Git automatically gives you a URL to create the pull request. I'll just copy this URL, paste it here, and hopefully it will open a console to create the pull request. So you can see the target here is master, and the origin, the source from where we are raising the pull request is my release branch. It is having my first code change, and I'll click on create a pull request. So this pull request has been created from release branch to master branch, and it has picked the commit message as a heading for this pull request. And then we will then, if we have approval process in place, if and then someone will approve this pull request, he will check all the code changes and approve the pull request. So in this case, currently I am only approving and merging the pull request. So what I'll do is I'll merge the pull request. I'm adding a confirm message that confirming the code changes are correct. Okay, so I merge this pull request. Okay, now it is showing the status as merged. Now if I go back to my master branch, git checkout master, and now it has checked out the master to the version which is currently present in my local. But since I merged the pull request on the server, which means the master branch at the server will be having some additional changes. So I'll just take a pull. And when I took the pull of master branch, I can see the files coming back in the master branch, which we added in our release branch. And then we release and we merge the PR of release branch to master branch. And again, we are pulling from master branch. So we are getting these files back in our master branch. Okay. So this was a scenario when there is only one developer working in the team and he's simply committing and pushing the messages. Now, for example, I have my friend Devinder, and we are two developers working on this project now. Sprint 1 got over with me, only me. For Sprint 2, there are two developers, Sumit and Devinder, will be working. So again, for starting of the sprint, I will cut a new branch, git checkout -b because it is a new branch. I will name it as feature this time, and sprint 002. Okay. Now, since there are more than one developers working on this sprint branch and they have to make code changes every day, both these developers will create their local branches from this sprint branch, and they will add their code and they will raise a pull request to the sprint branch only, not to the master branch. So for example, Sumit has created a branch feature Sumit changes, and now he adds a file which is Sumit's code changes. Okay, and now he'll create his pull request. So he is adding files, git add. Then if you check the status, it is a tracked file now, which is in green color. Now he'll commit this file, git commit -m is for message, and he will write a message, changes done by Sumit, and then he'll push his code changes, git push origin, and he will push his code changes to his branch only. So what he'll do is, Sumit has pushed his changes to the server copy of the local branch that he has created. So what it will happen is, if you check now, that our GitHub will show 3 branches. Yeah, here is the branches open. If I refresh, see, there is a branch created, Sumit changes. And also please make a note that sprint 2 branch has not been created. Why? Because we have not pushed sprint 2 branch as of now to our remote. But never mind. Now what has happened is that Sumit's changes have been pushed here, but Sumit needs to create a branch to the sprint to create a pull request for the sprint 2 release. So in order to do that, we'll go back to the sprint 2 branch. I think it was sprint hyphen 002. Okay, we are at the branch, and we'll push this branch so that this branch also gets created. Okay, so we have pushed this branch, and hopefully in a couple of minutes this branch should get created. Yeah, so I'll just refresh this page, and sprint 002 has also been created. Now what Sumit will do, that since Sumit is working in sprint 2 and he has made a change, he has committed his code change into Sumit change. Now we'll raise a pull request for Sumit changes. So see in near adjacent to the branch name, it is showing a new pull request options. I'll just click on new pull request. And this pull request, the source is Sumit changes. The target will not be master. It will be sprint 2. So Sumit is creating a pull request from his local branch to sprint 2 branch. So I'll just create the pull request. And we'll wait. We'll not merge this pull request as of now. Let's see what Devinder is doing. So we are currently at the sprint 002 branch. Now Devinder is also working parallelly with Sumit. So what Devinder will do, git checkout, he'll create his own custom branch. -b is for new branch, feature, feature, Devinder changes. Okay. Now we are at the Devinder's branch. Now what, and as you can see, the Sumit's file which was there in the Sumit branch is gone because it is right now only in Sumit branch. So and now we are at Devinder's branch. So what Devinder has done, Devinder after doing his code changes has created a file which is called Devinder's changes. Okay. So if we do git status, it will show in red color, which means this file is untracked. So we'll do git add, that dot is for all files, and again do git status. So it is showing in green name because it is a tracked file now. So we'll commit this file, git commit -m is for message, and we will write a message, changes done by Devinder. Okay. Now Devinder has committed his files into his local branch. Now we need to push this local branch to server. So what we'll do is we'll push this branch, git push origin, and we'll give the name of the branch, which is Devinder changes. So it is pushing the branch to our GitHub repository with the files and the commits. So as you can see, it is done. So last time when we created a pull request from Sumit's branch, we created on the server side. We did it with clicking on the button which is adjacent to the branch, which is a good way. But Git provides a very convenient way to the developers for raising a branch. Whenever you do a commit, it gives you a sample URL. If you just copy and paste this URL in a new tab, it will automatically open the create pull request page. But be careful the target that you are selecting. It should not be master in this case because we are working in sprints. It should be sprint 2. So Devinder has also raised a pull request for sprint 2 branch. So now you can see that parallelly we have two pull requests. If we click on pull requests in our repository, we can see that there are two open pull requests. One is by changes done by Devinder and one is changes done by Sumit. So when we are end of the 2 weeks of our sprints and we realize that we need to merge all the pull requests now. So what I'll do is one by one, I'll open first Devinder's pull request and I will merge this pull request. I'm writing a message as well. I just need to merge. Yeah, I'm adding a confirmation method, merging Devinder's work. Okay. And I am confirming it. So now Devinder's pull request has been merged into sprint 2 repo. Now if I go back to pull requests, I can see there's only one request pull pending, which is Sumit's work. Sumit's work, if I refresh it, it should. So now Devender's code change has been merged. Only pending request is Sumit's request. So I'll merge this as well. So now it's giving me the merge button, and I'll write a message merging Sumit's work, and I will merge this as well. So now my both branches have been merged. Now it is the sprint end time, and we need to send our code for deployment. So what we'll do, so I have taken example of two developers, Sumit and Devender, working, but there can be hundreds of developers working in a sprint. So when all their code have been merged in a sprint branch, now we need to merge our sprint branch into the master branch, which we will use to deploy our code into production. So now I'll create a new pull request. I will click on new pull request, and I will select our sprint branch as source, and the target will be master branch. Now you can see that this branch contains changes done by Sumit as well, and it contains changes done by Devinder as well. So if I had 10 developers working, it would contain the changes done by all these developers. Okay. So I'll create a new pull request for the master branch. So as I created a request, I'll click on create pull request. Now this pull request is open for the master branch. Generally what happens is vendors, when vendors create a release pull request from their sprint branch to master branch, the client or someone from the client side reviews all the code changes at once, because it is not possible for that person to talk to each and every developer, review their changes. So he only reviews the code at the final level when it is coming to merge in the master branch. It's kind of a second level of review sort of a process. Okay, so now this pull request is open. I'm going to merge this. So I'll write the message confirming changes done by Sumit and Devinder. Okay, so I'm confirming. Now this release branch has been successfully merged into the master branch. Now if I go back to my master branch in my local git checkout master, and if I check here, only file1 and file2 present, because we have not taken a pull. Now if I, because it is a local copy, if I take a pull now, git pull, it will get the latest replica from the GitHub server. So you can see Devender changes has also come into this branch, and Sumit's changes has also come into this branch. So you can see Devender changes file has also come, Sumit's code changes file has also come. So this is a collaborative way of working using Git, where each developer creates his custom branch